here at the H2O Lifestyle Resort on the rooftop under the sun and blue sky, ocean all around. I'm going to lead you through a nice short practice to open up our hips and get into the hamstrings. We're going to need 2 blocks for our practice today, and other than that, just yourselves. So we're going to come toward the top of our mat and feet about hip distance apart. Take a deep breath in, reach high. And as you breathe out, bend the knees and find a forward fold. We bend the knees, we immediately just take the work out of the backs of our legs a little bit here. On your inhale, bring hands to shins, lengthen. And on your exhale, we fold. Let's do a few breaths like that. Inhale, exhale. Breathing in through the nose, out through nose or mouth. To get a little more oxygen into the body, I like an inhale through the nose, out, exhale through the mouth. Inhale, lengthen. Beautiful. On your exhale, we're going to plant the hands and take the right foot back. We're coming into a lunge. We're going to right away grab our blocks, bring them on their second setting, and let's flank the front foot with the blocks. We'll stack our shoulders over the wrists and just hold the blocks with your hands evenly. And then from here, we're going to drop the back knee down with control. And right away, we're getting into the front of the right hip here with this stretch. You can walk the knee back a little bit more. If you want a little more power in this sequence, we can press down through top of foot, bring your hands to your front thigh and press up. Here we stack the front knee over our ankle and we scissor the thighs inward. We can take the arms wide, we can bend the elbows, we could send the heart forward even and lift the head here. And then bring your hands back to your block, and we'll keep the knee down on this first one, and we're just going to send the hips back. We can keep the hands on our blocks, or we could bring them to the floor. We could even take them nice and wide if that feels better. But we're going to lengthen out the front leg. Now some of you, there's still going to be a bend here. It just depends on the tightness of your hamstring. We might be able to pick up our left toes here. Bow the head, sink back. All right, on your inhale, let's come back into our lunge. And we can stay here, hands on our blocks, lifting the heart, or if you want a little more, we can take the arms high. We can reach up and a little bit back, let the hips drop, let the heart lift, let the head fall back. So only if you're ready for that. Otherwise, please keep your hands on your blocks. And then let's flip onto the back toe, pick up the back knee, and we're gonna press the weight back. Now we get into both hamstrings, both legs. Bow the forehead toward knee or shin. You can keep your hands on your blocks. You could lower them to another setting. You could move them around. You just want to use the blocks to give you a little more stability and space. And then your timing, we're going to shift forward and back. Inhale forward. Exhale back. Inhale forward. Exhale back, and feel free to stay a little longer if a stretch is feeling good, or you need more time. Beautiful. We'll come back down to the knee and we'll set our blocks aside for now. From here, we're going to heel toe this left foot outside our yoga mat, toes slightly outward. We might walk the back knee back even more. And then we can take our blocks back and we're going to bring the forearms down. So pick a setting for your block. Could be the second one. To bring the right forearm down. And if that feels like a lot, then you can come back to your hand. If you're here and it feels okay, maybe both forearms can come down. And we can also play a little bit here with rocking the weight, rocking the knee open to the left, rolling the weight over to the outer edge of your left foot. So we're getting into that hip a little bit more. And breathe. Try to soften as much as you can through the low back. And send the breath down into the belly. As we send the breath deep down, we're opening up our hips with the breath from the inside. Let's press back up to our hands if you're on your block. and then sink the weight back once more into the back knee. We can flank our hands around this front foot. So take them maybe a little bit wider, drop the forehead toward knee or shin. Stretch out those hamstrings. Beautiful. All right, let's come back up into our lunge. We're going to take the left foot back with the right to downward facing dog. So down dog is this inverted V shape, and we want to spread our fingers nice and wide on the mat. Press into the fingertips, the tips of your thumbs, and the knuckle pads of the fingers and thumbs. So really pressing and using our fingers, our knuckle pads, so we aren't dumping the weight in the heel of hand. Shoulders slide down the back, and I like to start with soft knees, especially if you have tight hamstrings, so we can open up the spine first. Then start to get into those legs, paddle heels left and right. Deep breath down into the belly. And then just to kind of neutralize, we'll move through a vinyasa. So we'll come forward to plank, lower to your knees, belly, chest down, chaturanga, elbows back and in, and then a lifted cobra on your inhale, or an upward dog, whatever feels good. We can get into the fronts of the hips here too. And then a child's pose just to soften out any tension in our lower spine, to get length back into the body. Breathe. Knees are wide so the belly has space to drop down. Let's come back to that breath into the belly and out. Inhale, come forward. Flip on the toes, take the hips back and out. We're going to take a step forward with the right foot. So we can pick up the foot and step forward. We might need to help it a little more forward if you need more space. And then we'll take our blocks either side of this foot. I like to start on the second setting. Drop the back knee down. Maybe walk the back knee back if you need to, and just feel into the stretch here in the front of the left hip. Lift through the heart. And if you want to go a little further, we're pressing down through the feet, scissoring the thighs, lifting up. Front knee stacks on the ankle, and we lift the arms. We can take them wide. We can feel the heart open. We might even tilt the chin up. Breathe. And then hands to your blocks. We're going to sink the weight back. Keep on your, steady on your back knee, and bow the forehead toward knee or shin. We can pick up the right toes. There could be a bend to this front leg. That's okay. Feel into the stretch. And then let's go again. We'll inhale, drop the hips, lift the heart, maybe feeling into the stability and going deeper. We could take the arms up, and on this one we could sink the hips, lift the heart, arms high, up and back, and we open up into this little back bend. Opening up the front line of the body a little more. Hands to your blocks. We're going to pick up the back knee, send the hips back. So now we're getting into the hamstrings on both legs, bowing our head. We might pick up the right toes as the head bows forward. Breathe. Good. Dropping to the back knee, lifting the heart. And once more, picking up the hips, bowing the head, and then just finding a rhythm forward and back on your own. Getting into your hips, getting into your hamstrings, holding longer where you need to. All right, we're going to keep the back knee down. We'll set the blocks aside for a minute. Hands to the inside of your foot. Walk that foot off your mat, toes slightly outward. So right foot off the mat. We might walk the back knee back if we want to go a little deeper here. And then if we can, we're going to bring our left forearm down to our blocks at any setting. I like the second one. But if you're feeling a little wobbly on the second one, maybe it's the first one for you. Find your spot. Maybe one forearm, one hand, maybe both forearms rather come down. We're going to roll the outer edge of the right foot and let the knee fall open. Breathe. Noticing sensation. Breathing deep into the belly and noticing the effect of a deeper breath on the pose, on your hips. Back up to your hands. Ground down through the front foot and walk the hands back, sink your hips back, pick up your toes, bow the head. Let's get another little stretch in for our hamstrings. Low spine, let's breathe. Beautiful. We'll come back into our lunge, lift off the back knee, plant your hands, take the right foot back, down dog. Press through the heels, press through your hands, drop crown of head. On the inhale, we come forward, find your plank, lower to the knees, chaturanga. Exhale down. Find a lifted cobra on the inhale, open up through the heart. And on the exhale, let's come back, child's pose, knees wide. Bowing the forehead. Let the hips shift a little side to side here. Roll on the forehead. And then inhale, let's come up into our tabletop, and we're going to come through a tabletop all the way down into a lifted cobra, and then all the way down onto the belly. One hand on the other, forehead on your hands. We'll pick up our feet and just let them tick-tock side to side. And let's just use this movement to really soften the space of our low back, our hips. And we're going to close our practice with this little easy sequence, feet side to side. It should feel really nice for your hips, for your belly, for your low spine. Lowering the legs down, take a breath in and a breath out. Let's take 2 more breaths deep into the belly. One more breath. All right, we're going to bring our hands either side of the ribs, press back up to the knees, and come back into a seat. You can sit on the heels or come into a cross-legged position. We'll just take a couple breaths to close. Breathe in, long spine, open heart. Breathe out, settle into your seat. One more breath in and out. Thank you so much for joining. I hope your hips and hamstrings feel a little more open. Have a great day.